Coming to get you, Barbara.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
I'll drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'll be the nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
There we go. How's it going, guys?
How was your birthday?
Oh, it was good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, I am an old person now. Officially, it's wonderful. What do you call it? What's up? Hey, Steven, first one to check in. Thank you so much. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, there we go.
30.
I don't like saying it yet. I still don't. I'm not comfortable.
You know how there's like non-binary? I feel like it should be like that with age because we don't all go through the same things. And I met like 20-year-olds that are more responsible than 50-year-olds. So I don't think age it's just a number.
I agree with that because as you know, I can admit now as a 30-year-old, I'm as mature as about a 12 to 13-year-old. I'm
My sense
almost
of
there.
It's like a 12-year-old.
Well, yeah, I'm at least in middle school as far as like responsibilities I can handle. So that's excellent.
Was what I am. So in a heart.
So I mean, it's just a number. I mean, take care of yourself. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's important. That's very true. Very true.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. You guys keep me on my toes, keep me young. I appreciate it. And speaking of someone who will keep you on your toes, today we're talking about a serial killer who is, well, she's got the look of a serial killer. And you'll see a picture of her in a little bit. She's old-timey. She comes from the old country. It is Belle Gunness, a.k.a. Hell's Princess. And she looks like a princess from hell. Wait, one more time?
They call her Hell's Bells, too. That's where that comes
I like that.
Hell's Bells.
When I first started researching her, I didn't know what she looked like. The way they were describing her, like she was a man-eater. I was like, oh, this chick must be really beautiful. Like she gets all these men like to do whatever she wants. But then they started to describe her more. And I was like, oh, it's her confidence. Her confidence got her like such a long way. That's why people believed her when they would ask her things.
It definitely wasn't her looks. I will admit that. I don't know. Maybe she had a way about her, in person. But
people would say like she had so much confidence that when people would ask her things, they believed her.
Yeah, they didn't question her.
That's in the area she was into where she was murdering, which we'll get into in a second. But I think it was a very much a friendly place, like everybody there, they won't expect you to lie anyways. They like, oh, you do something, you say you're going to do something, that's what you're doing. Or, oh, this happened. So obviously you're telling us the truth. And she took advantage of that.
And I think this is the first time we talk about a woman serial killer, right?
I think because her dad was a magician. That's how she can manipulate people.
You think that's a little something to do with it? Yeah.
I agree.
Dad was a professional magician, and you have to fool the audience to thinking an illusion. Therefore, she used that to gold dig her way through life.
I kind of like her. I'm gonna be honest. I like her.
Well,
that she did that. I'm like, good for her. Good for her.
She also killed, I believe, 4 or 5 of her own kids.
I mean, they probably got annoying. I mean, can you believe?
Oh my goodness!
Damn. Okay.
They probably got annoying. I don't know if that's a good reason.
I don't know.
Oh my god!
That's why I don't have kids. That's why I'm not having kids. I think with my dog is enough.
Not having any more.
Yes.
2 solid
I think you're a
points
good
right
mom,
there.
though.
Thank
I
you.
think you're very patient.
Thank you. Sometimes I do freaking Simpson his ass and just. But I do. I love him. He's my girl.
See, excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. She, on the other hand, none of the kids, and this isn't like there's no record of this exactly, but it's very much speculated that because her first time she was married, they didn't have kids. She actually ended up adopting 2 kids, one from a mother who passed away in her area, one that was just kind of, she said, was dropped on her doorstep kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
But it's highly suspected that she did straight up stole kids or bought kids off of mothers who are just in desperate situations.
Her sister had a kid and she wanted to have that kid, like she wanted to adopt it, and the sister was like no, and she kind of became obsessive until she found somebody who was dying and gave her the baby.
Kind of rude, by the way, of the sister. Like, if your sister's asking you for just one kid, just one. It's not like she wants all your kids. Just give her one of them.
I like being the fun aunt. I think that's like the nice thing about having my niece, because like I can play with her, and then I'm like, I'm done. Okay, go with your turn.
Same. My nephew, I love that.
Take this back.
Take them up with sugar and give them back.
Yeah, like you get to play with them and have fun, and then if there's a problem, here's your kid.
Oh man, I do love
the fun part.
I do love that experience. That's very true. I don't have any nephews or nieces yet. I have younger brothers and sisters, and they're all the high school to grade school age now. They're getting a little older, but when I would go out and I would take them to like just to buy them like a snack or something, or go to like Starbucks and buy them all hot cocoa during the summer or during the winter. Oh my god. I would get the weirdest looks because I'm walking around with 4 very small black children and 2 Mexican girls because they're all adopted. You know, got good for a diverse family, and I'm just getting looked at like, what is this kid doing? Like, he needs to just settle down a little bit. Like, no, that's fine.
Like, you need to watch TV or something.
What do you call it? Yeah, like I'm the crazy one. But
it's like a Mexican thing. Like when they have a lot of kids, they're like, you need to watch TV, and they'll be like, no, we just know how to enjoy the commercials. That's what you say.
100% think I've heard that before too. God damn. Hey, Gary, how you doing? Hope all is well. But anyway,
the first marriage, they did have 2 kids.
Yes.
And she poisoned both of them in infancy for insurance money.
For what?
For insurance money.
She was a smart cookie.
That is not a business plan. Do not look up to this woman.
She had money. She was like a gold digger, like in those times, because she had, I think what happened to her really affected her. The first boyfriend she had, she got pregnant, and then he beat her up so much that she lost the baby. I don't remember how many months she was, and that really affected her, and people told her like that affected her so much it changed her. And not only that, the place, where was she from?
She's from Norway. She is from the city is Selbu.
They were describing the conditions after that happened. She like scraped up and went to America to try to have a better life, but the conditions in the boat was horrible. Like a lot of people were sick. It smelled disgusting. She was there for days. Like, there was a lot of people there. It was like rotting away. So I can understand. I think I relate to like all the bad things. It kind of made me a cold person in a weird way. So I kind of relate to that. It's like it just made me stronger.
No,
I wouldn't
yeah,
poison people. I wouldn't poison people because I enjoy my freedom, but
that's the only reason. I was like, well, if I could get away with it, maybe one or two.
yeah. And I think she did get away with it because she was never in prison. So like I think she's one of the serial killers that did get away with it.
I 100% believe she got away with it.
Yeah.
And it's a great end to the story, but we'll get into that at the very end just because we gotta save that because it's crazy how it all ended for her farm and her little death trap she had. But like you said, she left Norway for America. Within a year, she was married to her first husband, where she had those kids that she decided, I'm gonna poison them. I don't want these. It actually took her 10 years to kill her first husband, and that was a big part of the insurance fraud. Her first insurance fraud, she actually got 2 payments that were overlapping, and she was able to use that. No, this was just on the husband. I'm not talking so much the arson part. But yeah, she did burn down her store as well. That's right.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was so cute.
Her death and ran and took off.
What do you call it? I completely forgot about that part. I apologize. Yeah, that's a good point. Now, when she after the first husband, there was a gosh dang it, where is the city? It is Laporte, where she moves to. Not too far from Chicago. It's kind of a rural town, but not too small. But she gets herself a nice plot of land, a couple people to work it, and then she starts putting out feelers in the newspapers, in Norwegian newspapers in the U.S. and abroad, saying, "Man, she needs herself a husband." But what she really needed was a dude to put an insurance policy on, murder, take all his shit, and then feed to her pigs, which is kind of genius.
Yeah, look, there's so many men that are serial killers. It's 95% of men and 5% women. So I like her. Look, she had a hard life. She got money out of it,
Yeah, she did. At least she did it for money, not just because she was crazy like a lot of guys do.
And I think it was the trauma of what happened to her, because a lot of people noted that after she was beat up by her boyfriend and she lost the baby, there was a complete change in her.
No, it's very true. Who y'all thought? This is Mary Poppins. This is
kind of.
Her spoonful of sugar did not help the medicine go down. I'll tell you right now. That was murder.
It wasn't medicine.
Oh, but the thing, like you said though, most serial killers are men. I think there would be more female serial killers, but I don't think they get caught as easy. I think women are better at serial killing.
We know how to get rid of blood, okay? Women know how to get rid of blood. That's all I'm gonna say.
Truth be told, we brag and we talk too much, and ladies know how to just shut up when they need to not talk about something.
Guys, it's about ego and anger and lashing out, not thinking. Women, we kind of hurt and hurt inside and kind of plot.
Yes.
Get clever.
Yes, Lauren.
Where it's going to be clever, where we're not going to be hurt.
Well, they also made a study that women who cheat get away with it more than men.
Yes, Laura.
Yeah.
I don't like that study at all. That sounds terrible.
Because I think women cheat in a different way. It's more emotional, and men just most of the time.
Emotional and logical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's one of those things. Guys are, I think, more impulsive and do dumb things very easily.
Yeah.
I think the ladies won't do the dumb things. I think they might think about it and no, not for me. I'm back out of this one.
Or they know how to hide it better.
Yeah.
They know how to hide it better.
That makes me feel very safe. Oh God.
You're like, Miguel, damn it.
Oh God. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna meet a nice girl and I cooked you dinner. No, you fucking didn't. I'm not eating this.
It's like she has a secret family too. You find out she's not poisoning. She has a secret family. She has a husband and kids.
Oh my God. What do you call it? Gary, it sounds like something from Flowers of the Attic Demented storyline. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what do you call it?
How did you hear about her, Miguel?
Belle Gunness.
Yeah.
Oh, she is an old-timey serial killer, by the way, too, guys. I want you guys to know this before we keep going. She allegedly died in 1908. So this was quite a while ago. There's a podcast that I love and a writer that I love. The writer's name is Harold Schechter. He's written a lot of different true crime books. I guess not a lot, but everything he writes is damn, it's good. It's really good. He's solid. I would love to interview him someday just to talk to him about his stuff. And then the podcast I like to listen to is called Last Podcast on the Left. And it's just three ridiculous guys who talk about true crime and then add in their own hilarity to it. It's a lot of fun and it makes work a lot easier. So once I heard them I was like, I wanted to know more. And
I've never heard of her in movies or books. Like she's not that popular like Ted Bundy,
Well, no offense to Belle here, but Ted had a good look about him. He had a good jawline. He spoke well. Let me show her off again. Belle Gunness here.
We remember the good. What he's trying to say.
It's kind of true. And she ain't selling any movie tickets. I'm sorry.
She looks like Miss Doubtfire gone wrong.
A little bit, yeah. Oh my god, I didn't think about that. Robin Williams could have played her if he would have stuck around. Rest in peace. But oh my gosh,
she reminds me a little of Misery. What's her name? Kathy Bates in Misery.
Yes.
A little bit.
When she is in American Horror Story in that
yeah, okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think it was a mixture of two of them. Yes, you're right.
This is actually a Disney princess too, Richard. You're absolutely right. She's gonna get her own movie. It's gonna be a Pixar one. There's
gonna be pigs.
Oh yeah, like they had the mice for Cinderella. She's gonna have her pigs.
Yes.
Oh, we gotta help Belle eat the human
her
bodies.
Her kids are gonna be the villains.
Oh, it's so sad. Because two of them were infants. Then she murdered her 16-year-old daughter. Not even for insurance. There was no insurance on that girl. She just wanted to get rid of her.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? Is that what we're doing here? But why? Why?
I don't know. I'm not a mom. I don't know the responsibility of having so many kids, like a lot of kids. I wouldn't know what that is like.
Being the oldest of 4 and having to raise them because my mom was not present, it's hard. It is very hard to keep track of 3. I don't see how women can do it.
Yeah, just helping out, like, because I've never had to, like, that's
a
lot of responsibility.
Just having my niece and nephew and like my son and watching them, like, I can handle it, but it is a lot. Definitely a lot. So I can understand where she's coming from.
That's why I think about having kids. I was an only child, so I sort of had to take care of myself. Like, I didn't have siblings, but my parents were always working, so I was by myself a lot. And like, I don't know. I think of it. I just want to take care of my parents. I don't want to have kids and take care of them. Like, I want to enjoy whatever I have, but there are some great moms out there that have a lot of love. But I don't think I would have it. It's hard work.
And it's okay. It's not for everybody. I really like when women are like, "That's horrible. How could you say that?" Not every woman wants to be a mom, and that's totally cool. It's not going to affect my sleep at night. So.
No, I mean, I just never 100%. Had the what is it called? Like that.
I you.
I never had that like thing. Like, I want to be a mom. I can't wait. I never had that. I enjoy kids. Like, they're so much fun, but then they can go back to their parents. Like,
And that's totally fine. I one kid, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want any kids.
No, I agree. I've never wanted to be a mom either. It's just not in the cards. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think.
Whatevs.
Maybe I can be a stepmom. I think about that. I can be a stepmom.
Miguel.
What do you call it? I could try it. I can bake cookies.
I don't cook. I had In-N-Out today, you guys. I bought food at Target and I got In-N-Out.
All right. Like, okay, before we get on too much of a before we
we're
get too
on.
much of a tangent,
Yeah.
let's no food talk because I started my diet today, so I'm very sad about food.
See,
Food can suck it. Thanks, Richard. Me and you, man, we're gonna go Mr. Mom on some kid and ruin it. Oh, oh my God! All right, back to the story. So Belle was putting out those letters in the newspapers and attracting men to go to her farm. Basically, they would take their entire life savings, they would liquidate whatever they had, and they would move to her better, nicer place where she would kind of like, she wouldn't out and out say it in the letters, but she would seduce the men. Like, oh, you
Yeah.
come here, I'll cook for you, we'll clean, I'll, maybe I'll go down a little bit, whatever. She would basically, she would lure these guys in. They would bring all of their earthly possessions, and in some cases, they wouldn't tell anyone where they were going. They would just like, nope, new life. I got a woman who's gonna work for me. She's already got the kids, so they're gonna work the farm too. Sweet. And then they get there, and usually within the first couple of days, she puts them down, and not just poisoning, not just arsenic here and there. She would straight up bludgeon people to death. The first husband.
I'm so
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
Which
go
I
ahead.
kind of like that because usually women, like one way they kill is poisoning them. They're never that violent, but it was kind of like refreshing to hear that she was a little more like a man and killed them more violently.
Very violently, like very, very violently. The first one she got away with killing because she just said, "Oh, this meat grinder fell on his head," and yeah, that's it. He died that way, and the police were just like,
they believed her. Okay, it's an accident.
Yeah, no, I agree with Lauren here. She could suck a big old bag of dicks because she got away with all that money. She didn't have to continue doing what she was doing. She was worth, they said, 1.5 million.
Wait, how many kids did she have in total?
I want to say 6 or 7. I think 7.
I think 7.
7,
And
including the adopted ones?
They all were adopted technically because none of them were hers. She literally stole kids, and then she would buy kids.
I thought like some of them she did have them because I heard a story where they found her and she was like doing laundry right after she gave birth. But like I don't know if back in the day, I mean I've never given birth. I don't know how bad, like can you walk after or do like I don't know, clean? Probably not, but back in those days women would give birth in fields. So
well, she had the children and she had them, like literally, like physically had them, not like she birthed them. And she had a midwife come over, but when the midwife got there, the kids were clean. She was working out in the fields. It wasn't laundry. She was working with the pigs. Like she was straight up farming. And the kids looked older than they should have. Like there's a big difference between a newborn and like a month old. There's no discrepancy. You're not going to mistake a child who's been feeding, outside the womb for a couple of months or a couple of weeks with a newborn baby who's just coming into the world. She was straight up evil. She would steal babies. She was like that story in the Bible where they cut it in half, and she's like, you know what? Just give me half a baby. I'm cool with that. That's totally fine. That's what she would be like. This is not a good lady. I think we're giving her too much credit.
I really think it did affect her, like the violence of her losing her own baby, like for sure. Like, because women are not like that in the way she just switched. And then like going through that horrible thing of coming to America and in the ship.
Gary said, I was stationed in Guam on watch. We had a crew member date multiple women, know each other and buys him and slept with him. 3 out of 9 came by and vandalized the car thinking it was his, but someone else's car that I was on duty that day. So think twice of dating more than, which never happened, thank God, during my Navy. That is rough. I'll let Frankie tell his story of his car being vandalized by a lady. And it was totally my brother's fault. So if you guys want to hear that story,
he deserved it.
He deserved it. He being a dog, but no. I just like laughing at him because it was his car. And he's my older brother, so it's hilarious to me. Not so much to him. Oh, all right.
What happened to his car?
There was some very large gashes, like talking good size gashes in his sunroof or his canvas top. It was a convertible here in California. It's wonderful to have that, but not when there's giant holes in it, and it's very hard to replace that stuff. It is not cheap. So
She was pissed.
Yeah, don't piss off a lady who's good with the switchblade. You know, maybe just don't do that. It's on you. So here we are. Okay, so at this point, she's been collecting men's belongings and their retirements, their savings, so much that she had a room in her house that was just dedicated to trunks full of stuff.
So she had trophies?
Kind of, but at the same time, I think she just wanted to keep the stuff out of people's, like, this way if she sold it, for instance, they would see all this stuff being sold in her area unless she traveled like a far distance to sell it. But if she kept it around, she could maybe get rid of it later without raising suspicions as much. Because she was pretty suspicious as it was when she would get these new guys coming in. If they had, say, a banknote or an account that wasn't straight cash, she would make them cash checks, clear out their bank accounts, or whatever they had to do to liquidate their money to give it to her. Because that was kind of the deal. They would get the farm and they would get all the amenities, and they would get her if they gave her basically everything. And they were going to get married anyway. So, combined everything. And she's local, so put everything in her name. It's okay. And then it wasn't okay. It was definitely not okay. Now, there is one gentleman in particular that kind of helped unravel the whole situation. Two of them, technically. But one of them was one of her last victims was Andrew Helgelein.
I was that too.
That's the one you're on. Okay, good. Because that's, Andrew Helgelein was in Norway when they started corresponding. He was pretty well off himself too. He had a bit of money, but he also had a brother who kind of knew where he was going and started sending letters to Belle, like, "Hey, did my brother ever make it over there? Okay, like, you didn't murder him, did you?" And then she straight up did. And she would give him the runaround, like, "Oh, I don't know where he went. I think he was playing me."
Yeah, she was like, "Why don't you come to the farm and can help me look for him?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't. But of all people, like, he knew, like, he was gonna tell everybody where he went because he had his suspicions. He was a little bit smarter of the two brothers. I'll give him that. His older brother was smarter. And let me see if I can find the name. I do not remember the brother's name. Oh no. Does anybody remember Andrew Helgelein's brother's name?
No.
How do you say it? Osley? I don't know how to say that.
Osley?
Osley?
I'm gonna go with that. Because that's better than I can do. What do you call it? No idea where he's at. Cleaning blood off a knife. Actually, that's exactly what they thought. Basically, she did. Because for some reason, she was like really pissed at him of all people. Because when they found his body, there was only wounds to the front of him, meaning that she went straight at him to attack him, and he had a chunk full of her hair in his hand. Yes, in her hand, and meaning that he was fully awake, trying to defend himself as she was just murdering him. I think it was a hammer, not a knife, but she went full rage mode on this guy and just beat him to death, completely head on, which is not her usual thing. Like, usually she would kind of poison them a little so they would be weaker, so she could just start hitting them, or she would hit them from behind as hard as she could. And she was a bigger woman. I think she was at least 6 feet tall,
200 pounds.
Yeah, she was not quite linebacker size, but she was a tough cookie.
Yeah, she was.
Actually, now I take it back. Maybe I would have fallen for this girl. I don't know. Like, there's something about a stronger, tough girl like that. Sometimes,
I tell women, like, confidence is the sexiest thing, because I see so many women, like, it doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. Just have confidence. And it's like this energy that is so irresistible. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like, honestly.
Oh, yeah. That is true. Every guy will tell you that right there. It's like, huh.
Confidence.
Well, yeah. She's hula hooping in roller skates, but she keeps falling over. But she does it confidently. It's
Yes,
okay.
exactly. That's all you have. Like people
Oh
can
my
take away
god.
so much from you, but they can never take your confidence ever.
No, I would tell that to the girl I asked to prom in junior high. She took my confidence. Talking about. No, I'm just kidding. That's another story.
I was gonna say no. Life did you a favor. Why would you want to go out with somebody who was a total bitch? You know, that's how I see it.
I think I did dodge a bullet on that one.
I have this weird thing where I can turn it around. Like something horrible can happen. I'm like, no, life did me a favor. You know.
Dodged a bullet, my dude.
Exactly. You probably had a better time not going with her. So.
Yeah, let's not go into that one too much. Let's keep moving forward. There is another gentleman that kind of works his way into the Andrew Helgelein story. That's not the brother, but a working hand on the farm named Ray Lamphere. Lamphere. I think that's how you pronounce it. It could be wrong, but he was a local in the area. He was kind of a dullard. He drank a lot. He gambled a lot, and he had a thing for older women. Like he liked mature ladies, and he was attracted to Belle like right off the bat. And whenever she wasn't trying to court one of the gentlemen, he would be in the house, and they were just straight up going at it.
I liked hearing that about Belle, that she had so many suitors. Like I don't know. It was just like it's a different story I've never heard before, so I really liked it.
And it really did help her with her murdering, because I think guys will overlook a lot of red flags that are that will lead to their death, and not just with women. I mean, like a guy goes into the woods and like, oh man, these eggs look pretty cool. What's that thing hissing at me? And then they get bit by
Well,
we're not smart people.
Women can do it too, but it's like it comes from a different area. It's like being polite, because growing up they would tell you to be polite, and so many women get murdered because they're trying to do like the nice thing.
Which is terrible.
Yeah. So I guess it's both,
Now you're not wrong. Like the whole Ted Bundy, when the fake cast and like, oh, could you help me get this into my car? Or will you carry this to wherever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even trust women, to be honest. Like there's been times where they want to ride, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like I can't give you a ride, and I feel bad, but then I'm like, no, I can't trust a stranger to go in a car with me by myself.
Do we have time for a little side story about that exact experience?
About hitchhiking?
It was about a girl, this very pretty girl who was trying to break into a car in front of a bank at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. I'm not very bright. I don't come off smart in this story. Okay.
Let me get the popcorn.
Well, one more time.
I'm like, let me get the popcorn.
So I just got my check, and I'm gonna go cash it real quick and then go to sleep because it was a long day and I just wanted to get home. I had to go to work at that point. Sorry, I wanted to cash before work, and it's an empty parking lot except for one car in front of the bank where the cameras are at, and there's actually a very pretty girl with a coat hanger trying to get into this car. And at first I'm like, oh, I better not look. I don't want to get, just in case. Cash my check, and she stops me and asks, hey, can you help me get this door open? I locked my keys in, and I didn't see any keys. But I didn't want to be rude, so I started helping her try to get the hanger in there. And then it hits me that I am in front of a bank trying to break into a car in the middle of the night with what is basically just a stranger. And I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here. This is not good. I got her name. I forget what it is now. She told me she worked at this place that I've been to before. And I'm like, I'm trying to make any excuse to get out of there. So long story short, I finally get away before the car's broken into. Paul's like, oh, I could call a tow truck for it. He's like, oh, no, I don't need one of those. I just need to get in. It's like, well, they can help you because they'll be able to, pop the key and whatnot, or whatever. No, don't worry about it. It's okay. You have good. So I get out of there and I go to the other business, and there's no record of her working there. So I'm pretty sure I almost helped someone steal a car that night, but because she was a tiny girl, it totally would have right over my head. I would have helped someone steal a car. In front of a bank, mind you, where there's a friggin' camera right. Oh, God.
You know what I do at stores sometimes, and it works in my favor? I'll be like, oh, that was 50% off. And they'll give me the 50% off. It wasn't 50% off.
You just tell them?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm buying like this necklace. It said it was 50% off.
I love
Why did I thought of this?
Awesome.
I was like,
I need to do
I
that.
have a coupon. I was like, I have a coupon, and I'll look through my purse. I don't have a coupon. And they'll give me the coupon. They're like, don't worry, I have the coupon right here. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, because look at Marlene. She's all sweet and innocent, like she bats her little eye.
It's 50% off, you guys. Maybe I should.
I would have given you any discount you wanted. Oh, my God, this is terrible.
You could have it for free. Oh.
God damn it.
Maybe I should try to steal a car. Let me see how that goes.
I did not just give you an idea. No, that's terrible.
Dear diary.
Really thinking about that. I was like,
You can just try it one time.
maybe go to the bank. Like out in the like shopping, a parking lot in the mall. Boom.
I wonder if people would give me money. Strangers would give me money just because.
Oh, God. I feel like I've started a crime wave in Arizona, and I'm not even there to stop it. This is not good.
You're like, I'm never coming here.
Oh, shit. Oh.
There's some bad parts in Tucson. There are some bad parts. We have to be careful.
It sounds like you're causing them, Marlene. You're just going to start robbing people.
What? No.
No.
Right, so
What?
I don't know who it is.
Oh, my God.
No, officer. I have no idea who she is.
No.
Never. She's never done this before. No.
I made a mistake. Can you forgive me?
That works every time with the police. They're like, you know what?
I've never been pulled over, and I'm always speeding. And I didn't have a license for the longest time either.
What?
Yeah. It's Tucson. I mean,
Well, I used to borrow my friend's truck when I was 15 and drive without my license.
yeah. I mean, I don't think they care.
It's Tucson.
It's Tucson, sadly. I feel bad for the people watching. They're like, I'm never gonna go to that town.
I think either I need to move there and learn how to live, or I just need to avoid it at all times.
Yeah, avoid. I mean, I love Tucson, but I understand why people think it's ghetto. I mean, I get it. But I love it. It's my home. There's this beautiful part in Tucson. I can't. Even the bad stuff.
God. If I ever go, just tell me where to park so my car doesn't get stolen. How about that? Just help me out.
I mean, every part. Remember I told you about my bike? Like shit, everyone's house in the neighborhood has been like broken into, like their yard or something. So
damn.
Yeah.
People do suck everywhere. There's always somebody out there who's not going to be cool.
Yeah.
Always.
What do you call? All right. So into Raylan Fear. That is her kind of booty call for Belle Gunness. But whenever she found a new mark that she was going to rob and kill, she would kick him out and make him sleep in the barn. So this dude was constantly just like getting thrown to the side and then brought back, or
I kind
or
of get
to the
that
side.
because I mean I like sleeping alone, so I mean I kind of get her in that way.
But she was doing it to murder people, not just because she needed personal space. So that's not cool, you know. That's
kind of like a Black Widow, huh?
She very much was.
Yeah.
She very much was.
That's what they call her, too, Black Widow.
100% definition. She
I heard the
absolutely
House
was.
Bells, and I like that one.
It says
She's also.
Belle.
I think she was the ogress of somewhere or another. She had a bunch of nicknames.
But that wasn't her name, right? She changed it when she got to America.
Oh, the Mistress of Castle. The Mistress of the Castle of Death is my favorite.
Ooh, I like that one.
That should be a Mistress.
That should be a what?
Yeah, a book.
Yeah.
That is a really cool title.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me something like, you know how Elvira is a personality? Like somebody should have that name as a personality. That is really cool.
I like that.
I think one of you guys could pull it off. I think whoever wants to be the mistress of the Castle of Death, or whatever the full name is.
Well, since Lex
Both can
I
be
don't-
the
What do you call it? Yeah, the mistresses. Yeah, I like that. Down.
the
Yeah,
mistresses.
she had a lot of names, a lot of different nicknames.
Well, at the time, well, we're gonna get into closer to the end how big the story was for the time period. Because once Ray Lamphere kind of turned on her, they were getting into arguments and squabbles to the point where she was calling the police on him, and they went to court. And his lawyers were trying to discredit her, so they started bringing up the fact that a lot of people go to her farm and then go missing. Maybe we should check in on this. So going to court for her was like the worst idea she could have done. And it led to her deciding, well, what if I were to be murdered and the house burned down? And Ray Lamphere is the one who did it for sure. He did it. And she literally told people, like, if I die, it's because of this man. And on the same day that she bought a bunch of kerosene. So the night of, middle of their trial, middle of Andrew Helgelein's brother trying to find him, her house burns down. Her kids are found in there dead, and her quote unquote body is found in there decapitated. So there's no way to identify the burned body.
Do you guys believe she was murdered? Because I feel that she planned that, and she was a smart cookie, and she got away with it.
No,
100% got away with it.
he did.
Yeah, this is the only person we've talked about, right? That got away with it.
Because later on, the letter stopped, and the brother came to the farm and was asking where the brother was. And then they started, there was some hollow spots in the ground hog pen. So he went and had almost fallen one and dug into it and found a head, and it was his brother's.
That sucks.
Yeah. So they determined that the body that was actually in that was too small to be Belle's, and that it was Andrew's. And then they ended up plowing through the whole hog pen and finding a whole bunch of arms and ligaments and legs, body parts and bones and all kinds.
It was intense. And not just that, but the news spread really fast because this is a pretty quiet area. And all the news outlets started posting stories. People came from all over to look at them while they worked, while they were digging up bodies. They had at one point a not quite a sideshow, but the local police allowed people to see the crime scenes, or at least the bodies, until they realized there were so many people there they couldn't do their jobs anymore. So they had to stop doing that. But people were still trying to break into the area. They had it fenced off. They would try to climb the fences. It was insane. Like, people think we're obsessed with what's a good latest oh my gosh, what's Jeffrey Epstein's assistant, the woman, Ghislaine Maxwell? Like, we're obsessed with that case nowadays. It seems so much worse because they wanted trophies of human bodies. Like, oh, I want a piece of the crime.
Oh my gosh,
it was
I
crazy.
didn't hear about that.
They were being as ghoulish as people could be without being arrested.
Well, I think I'm a morbid person, but I would never go that far of wanting a body part.
I mean, if it was cleaned in in a store, maybe.
No.
There is
Poltergeist. Remember Poltergeist?
Parts in my house, like I have the skull of an otter. And I do have.
Animals are different.
I don't know if I want of a human, though. I don't know. Not in that way.
No.
I wouldn't mind it. What's the resale value on human parts, Richard? Back then, it wasn't very much. It was pretty cheap. But today, speaking of Frightmare, there is a vendor. I don't know if they're there this year, but there's a vendor who would sell body parts. Like, you could buy a human rib bone, or it's ghoulish, but it's fascinating. It's very fascinating, I think.
At tattoo expo here in Tucson, there's a booth where she had not only animal body parts and bones and stuff, she had like pelvises, human pelvises, and then she had like a line of like bolts that were like in spine or like spinal taps or like stuff that you would find, or like knee replacement from stories.
That's hardcore.
So get cremated and that would be left behind, and then they would sell those. And I'm like, what? Ew. But it was like 1,800 kneecaps.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It ain't really cheap. Cool. It ain't cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
What do you call it? That's why when I die, I want my body stuffed and rented out for like parties and stuff, so they can like scare their kids, or
that one's different. I thought you were gonna say cremated.
No. Actually, my real plan is that I want to be scattered along Disneyland, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's stories of that, but I don't want to be cremated.
Mm. Why Disneyland? You want to?
Well, just think of what I just said though, real quick. Think to yourself, I want to be scattered along Disneyland, but not cremated. So what do you have to do to Miguel to scatter him along the place?
Gotta go, Belle.
I don't want to think of
that. What do you call it? It's just chop little bits of myself and chum in the water, but chum Disneyland just everywhere.
But don't you think the animals will get to you before you scare the little kids? That's my biggest concern.
I hope both, because I would love to see, because there's a bunch of cats in Disneyland, so I want to see a cat running with like part of my arm while the security tries to catch him. Tell me that would not be the most memorable day.
You just want your last 5 minutes of fame when you're dead.
I want to tell a story.
Earth, yes.
I like the idea of scaring little kids, though. That sounds like fun.
I mean, keep them on their toes. Keep them on their toes.
Exactly.
Richard, it is raining, Miguel. Yes, that's what I want. That's what I want one day. I will get it. Maybe not Disney, but somewhere. But anyway, oh my God, that would be awesome. Never mind. I want to go into it. But as Lex was saying, though, the body definitely did not match Belle Gunness. It was too small. They found part of her teeth in the fire, like part of her bridge work, because it was very identifiable. But for the most part, I think a lot of people out there, it's not like I'm the only one. She just took them out. Like she ripped out her own work and threw them in the fire, so no one would go looking for her.
I thought they only had one dentist, and I thought she probably paid him off. I mean, she had a lot of money. It was one dentist. She probably paid him off. I didn't really think she ripped it off, but since she was really smart in business.
He's the guy who identified the work. He's like, oh, that's definitely my work. So, and I think she was really greedy. I don't think she would want to give him any money. Like, nah, forget that.
But if she's trying to escape, I don't know. That was like my first thought. She would pay him off because it's only one person.
True. But as far as anybody who out there can definitively prove, we have no idea what happened to Belle Gunness if she lived. Like, I think 99.9% she lived, and nobody knows where she went to, maybe what happened to her. Because there was one person out there who said, like, well, if she did get away, she had all of her money left in cash. Like, everything, she had to liquidate it. So if she's, like, trying to hide out, and she's going through the U.S. at that time, it was very dangerous to go by rail car. Someone with a gun could have just robbed her, and then they became a millionaire, like, right off the bat. And then
she was a very strong woman. Like, people believed her. And she was big, too.
No.
She was very tall.
But, someone with a gun, I mean, you can be very strong. Just bad day.
Did she have a gun, too?
I don't know. She never used one.
I don't think she did.
Yeah, I don't think she ever thought she
did they kill the pigs? Or the horses?
She killed them.
But didn't she use a gun? No.
She would straight up butcher them. She would cleaver, and she would use knives. She was very brutal. She was a very strong woman. She didn't need a gun. She never needed one.
I don't know. I think she's very smart. She probably had one because she got away with so much.
I wouldn't doubt it. It makes sense. But no matter what, we have no idea where she went. Nobody does.
Yeah, we can't ask her. But so far, I think this is the only case where we had a woman serial killer and got away with it.
Oh, yeah, it's one of the very few cases that got away with it at all, like men, women, anybody. And this happened from 1908 and about a good 20 to 25 years stretch of her murdering people. So what we're looking at 1888 to 1908, probably at that window, Gary, if you're looking at it. That's when it ended, though. 1908 is when she either faked her death or she did die in the fire, either one. Any evidence of money being burned? They didn't find any money in the house, but before she did go either through with her plan or before she was murdered, she set up a will that all of her bank accounts would be drained into the Norwegian orphanage of New York, where when she first landed, that's where she was at. But I don't know if they actually got any money. I didn't see anybody saying the other. I think she was just setting up an alibi, like why the money's missing. I think that's the only reason.
Because all of her accounts were clean. She was gone.
I mean, I would do the same if I was her. Like, I'm not leaving a dime behind. I worked hard on that.
Funny you say, because it says in 1931, a woman named Esther Carlson was arrested in Los Angeles for poisoning a Norwegian American man and attempting to steal his money. She died of tuberculosis while waiting trial, but many couldn't help but notice that she bore a striking resemblance to Belle.
Oh.
A photograph of kids who look a lot like Gunness's children.
What was her last name?
Esther Carlson in Los Angeles in 1931.
I do believe in karma.
I do too.
Yeah. That's why I don't murder people.
Wow.
Does she look like her? I want to look.
Where's the picture? They just okay, here we go. I have found. Okay, it's not very big, but let me see if I can show this off real quick, guys. Come on.
I was going to say, was she like Amber Heard that she was going to donate all that money, but she didn't?
Oh my.
Oh, I don't think she donated it. Yeah, definitely didn't. Oh, it's really small. But obviously on the right is Belle Gunness that we know of, and that is Esther. So that would be years later.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
I don't know. Because your face changes. Like when you lose weight or you gain weight and then like you lose collagen if you don't take care of yourself, like that could be. And then sun damage can get you a lot of freckles, you know.
That happens in LA all the time.
That could be a factor too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not ruling it out. That's a pretty close likeness. And I'm guessing she wasn't taking the best care of herself, you know, when she was on the run in the beginning.
I don't think they had facials back then.
No, I don't think so.
Well, Egyptians had, but they were really into beauty and more natural, holistic things, but not in that area.
What do you call it? I think we had some really weird treatments, but actually, I think we should do a whole episode on weird treatments that we used to do back in the day.
Ooh, like I actually do one. I do a weird one that Egyptians do. I do oil pulling, and it helped with my teeth. Have you heard of it?
What's this, though? No.
Oil pulling. So in the morning when I wake up, the first thing I do after I meditate, I get coconut oil in my mouth, and then I swish it around for 20 minutes, and it gets you like completely clean. Once you start to do it, brushing your teeth isn't enough. Like it get rid of the toxins too, because you're sleeping. So all that toxins, like you know how some people drink water, you're swallowing those toxins. So when you have the oil in your mouth, it's getting rid of it, and then you spit it out. So you got those toxins out of your liver, your stomach, and your mouth.
Huh. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, once you do it, like brushing your teeth isn't enough. Like you don't feel clean just brushing your teeth.
I don't like coconut oil though.
You can use olive.
Any
kind of oil. It's kind of gross, but the way it widens your teeth naturally, it gets rid of bacteria. It's good for your liver.
Am I allowed?
What?
Am I? Sorry, Lex, you cut out on me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh, you try it. Well,
Yeah.
can I try it? But am I allowed to use the olive oil with a little bit of like fresh Italian bread? Oh,
No.
It doesn't work. Shit. All right, whatever. All right. No, I think that's anything to help, clean the teeth. I'm up for trying because
Yeah,
I got messed
'cause
up teeth. I need to fix teeth.
Yeah, your teeth is like a big factor in your health.
Yeah.
So for sure. Also, I had a lot of bleeding gums too. Like I would floss all the time, and it got rid of the bleeding gums.
Okay. Yeah, I have a big problem with. Yeah, even when I brush my teeth just a little too rough, my gums will bleed a little bit. So
And it would be
I would
painful
like
too.
that not to
So,
happen.
yeah, that got rid of the pain, and it's like no more swelling. My skin is better. Do it on the show.
Fine. I gotta go find my olive oil collection.
This sounds like a weird Patreon thing.
How many dollars do we need to reach that point of teeth cleaning on the show? Oh, fuck.
Oil pulling. Let's do 300.
That's fair. That sounds fair.
Yeah.
All right. But that's pretty much gonna do it for Belle Gunness. I mean, they caught her for 14. I think she killed quite a few more than that. That included.
I thought they said 30 in the podcast I heard.
30 is one of the higher numbers. 14 was like what they could prove, but I wouldn't doubt if it's closer to 40 or 50 that she killed because she was just really good at it. When you're good at something,
keep
doing it. Shine on.
Confessed to his inmates that they killed 42.
42.
That she would spike their coffee or beat them over the head and then cut them up and sack them, and he would bury them.
Everyone needs a hobby.
I mean, there's stamp collecting and
what did they do back then? Needle pointing?
Hell no, that's boring. That's boring. I'm gonna kill someone instead. Yeah, no, that's boring as hell.
She was not about that life.
No.
Not about baking or anything.
No, actually, she was a good cook. Apparently, like she made some really good
was?
Swedish dishes. Like,
well,
apparently
she had
that was one
poison,
of her.
Right? You can't taste the poison in the food.
Exactly. You have to have really good cooking.
Yeah, I do not. Like people would know. All I can make is toast.
What do you call it? Why is there this rat poison on my toasts, Marlene? Like, what are you doing?
Why is my toast green?
It's just sprinkles. It's sprinkles. Don't worry about it. Oh my God. All right. That is going to cut it for today, guys. Y'all have a wonderful night. I hope you learned something about this horrible lady. And be sure to tune in next week, same time. This Thursday, the girls are going to be talking the Aztecs and some rituals through the culture. So I hope you guys will watch that. So prepare for some more gore, but some very interesting facts as well. I'm very excited for that. All right. Anything else before we go, guys?
No, I don't know. I'm trying to think. No. Happy Tuesday.
Totally went out of my mind. So
I felt like I was put on the spot. I was like, wait.
That's it. Is of the Castle of Death.
Boom. I like it.
Mic drop.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.